How did this person get into the hospital? And maybe he may have done it for a long time, because you started acting when the media picked up that matter. How would one get into the hospital? Pose as a doctor, maybe put on a white jacket, lab coat, take prescription, talk to patients, and the hospital management is not aware at all.
Actually, the officer was nabbed through the CCTV. What he was doing was not for actually what a medical doctor does. Because the client alleged that he had seen a doctor. The doctor just came and touched the patient. Then after just a simple touch, sent the patient to radiology department. So when we received the complaint, we were able to view the CCTV. It's where we captured this officer.
You know, Bwana Daktari, you are not answering my question, and I'm getting frustrated by your answers. I am asking you, this is an outsider. He has entered your hospital. Maybe sitting in a room somewhere on a chair like this, on a table, seeing patients. How can that happen under your watch? Really? There is no surveillance system in the hospital? There are no checks being conducted in the hospital?
Your Excellency, we think this was a unique case. This case happened in the evening. I was at the facility at that time when this case occurred. It was around 6:05. Usually that area, there is normally at 5 it's closed. It's not accessible. And that's why we were concerned that we have a client being seen there. From 6 p.m., all our clients are served at Accident and Emergency Department. Our outpatient department is closed. However, since that instance, we have done measures so that then we are not exposing our members of public to a similar occurrence. Honorable Senator.
You know, Chair, for this person to have entered the hospital, and I think, Administrator, you are not being very truthful to this committee. This person to enter the hospital, maybe sit somewhere, be allowed to see patients. It means there were conspirators within the hospital. There must have been some people in the hospital, either the staff who facilitated him to get in there. There is security at the hospital. What were they doing? There are nurses in the hospital. Nurses are all over. You've gone to a hospital. You meet them all over, in corridors, in theaters, all over. And you can't tell us that after investigation, that only Matara was arrested and there were no conspirators. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. What action has been taken? Are there any conspirators? And if there are, what action has been taken against them?
Honorable Senator and Chair, stand guided. Once a matter has been handed over to the office of or the police, our prayer was that then...
Let me cut you short.
Yes.
Senator is asking, because me going there, because if there is no linkage somewhere, I cannot get an office, a seat, a role of a doctor, because the Senator is asking clearly. You have identified the person, executed it, but is there any other, because there must be a linkage, who offered this person, facilitated this person to go far up to seeing the patients. So what action has you taken, and have you followed it up to see who are those linking people? There must be a linking. So layman cannot come in and access an office.
So, Chair, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this was a unique, isolated case. It happened off working hours, and the officer was not in a white coat, he was in civilian. And that's why we were able to nab the officer after alert. We hoped that the investigation will unearth other perpetrators or other linkages.
We are asking you because of this is not a we are not convicting anyone, but we wanted a service delivery, good service to our people. Now, if we leave it like that, maybe we don't know even there is other linkage going on. Because where is it? Grassroots, where a person cannot access a facility without somebody he knocked the door and somebody has opened for him. Let's go to grassroots and see where the problem is. Because as we are talking, maybe there are another gang in the consultation room attending to the patients. So let's take to that frame what, as a facility head manager, what have you done? And is there action? Is there a culprit you have identified so that to know where it is from? That's just because reporting and whatever is up to that person convicted. Yes, but bado shida iko hapa system.
Yeah, Chair, because if the conspirators have not been dealt with, then it means the problem will recur. And maybe it's continuing. Yeah, because you cannot say that Matara did not have people who facilitated his entry to the hospital, his being able to sit somewhere, talk to patients, even measure their temperature, their heartbeat, and all those things. Yeah? I mean, it is practically impossible for that to happen. So the issue of conspirators or possible links in the hospital, I think is a major issue that the committee must take note, because we do not want this matter to recur again, because that poses a danger, a major risk to the patients who are in the hospital. Because today someone will get into the hospital and they harm your patients. Where were the security guards? Where were the nurses who hover around the corridors and in the treatment rooms? Where were they? I think the committee deserves to get a very clear answer from you, because you are the administrator, the manager of the hospital. We cannot expect the governor to come and guard the hospital, the governor to manage the day-to-day running of the hospital. You are there to do that. I think you deserve to give this committee a proper answer to this matter of Matara.
Through the chair, let me just add to what Senator Osoti is saying. I actually followed this case closely, and this young man turned out, he claimed to actually be a student. I don't know whether he was a medical student, but he actually said whatever he knew, whatever he was doing was wrong. And later there was an option of being sentenced for 3 months or giving 10K to secure his freedom. And this is actually not a first instance. I would not want to say this might have been a PR exercise, because in Kisii County, some months ago, someone was arrested in Bobasi constituency who actually had some drugs he was going to sell. So there was public uproar, and after that the story just fizzled out, just the way the Shakahola one is taking turn. So I hope this is not theatrics from the county government to appear like they're actually doing something, while in real sense there is a long line of people who are feeding from the food chain. And Your Excellency, the Governor, you see now this actually narrows down to what we said. having a structure that is actually documenting and having information on what is happening. If the superintendent is saying that the person was nabbed through CCTV, and from what the media was reporting is that it's patients who actually raised alarm because this had been happening for quite some time, I fail to actually understand, in as much as that is not captured in the questions that were raised, that